Michelle, Kayla Morgan, and
All right, folks, we're here on Sprout Media through the YouTube network. We appreciate you tuning in to us this afternoon for the second game here in the state tournament from Nashville, Arkansas. Both teams being introduced now. The Billies from Monticello will be the visitor on the scoreboard. They have been introduced, and now the Malvern Lady Leopards being introduced here at Futrell Field. It's been a good state tournament here at Nashville. These two teams, I'm just going to be honest with you, I think these may be the two best teams in this tournament. Monticello representing the 8-4A out of the 4 region. And then Malvern, who used to be a part of the 7-4A conference, now up in the central part of the state are the Leopards, as they are also the 1 seed coming into this state tournament. Malvern representing that first place team coming out of the 3 region, as both teams, like I said, are being introduced, as we are just about ready for play here from Nashville 4A State Tournament. This is the last one. The Warren Lady Lumberjacks have punched their ticket to Hot Springs at Majestic Park. They'll await the winner of this contest here between Monticello and Malvern. 2 good pitchers will be on display here this afternoon. A.D. Fraser, the pitcher for the Billies, and Kendall Watson, also the pitcher for Malvern. So it should be a heck of a contest here. Like I said, 2 games before, the game before us was Brooklyn and Warren. Warren came out a winner in that one 6-2. And I'll tell you, there was a whole lot of excited folks there for Warren. Warren had only won a state tournament win to start this tournament. They had never won a game in the state tournament, and now they find themselves at Majestic Park awaiting the winner of this one for a chance to win a 4A state championship. As Coach Tyler Cliff's going to be joining me here shortly. He is introducing everyone, introduce the umpires. Those umpires for today behind home plate will be Brian Tackett. At first base will be Glenn Gilbert, and then over at third base will be Booker Mays. Mike Love has been the crew chief for this tournament all week long, and I'm telling you what, we have not had one problem out here with these officials all tournament long. This tournament started on Thursday. We played 8 games that day, and then yesterday we had 4. Today we have 2, and somebody's going to play for a state tournament chance to win a 4A state tournament between these 2 teams, Monticello and Malvern. So the Leopards warming up. Kendall Watson out there in the circle this afternoon for the Leopards. Behind the plate for Malvern will be Alexis Jenkins. They make up the battery for the Lady Leopards from Malvern, as we are now ready for play. And joining me on the broadcast after doing the announcing there, Coach Tyler Cliff. Coach Cliff, we should have a barn burner right here.
So there you go, good teams who can swing it. If you're a pine tree out in center right of left field, I feel bad for the pine tree.
I'm telling you, these 2 can hit it, and this lady at the plate to lead things off is Libby Kingston, who can really hit it. First pitch shows bunt, pulls it back, strike called off the right arm of Kendall Watson. 0-1 count to Kingston at the plate. So an 0-1 count to Kingston. Coach Cliff down a little problem there with his headset. We will get you back on the air. Now the ball is going to get through the right side. Base hit there for Kingston and the Billies, and they have the leadoff on, Coach.
And if you're Malvern today, you're going to have to ride your pitcher. She's going to have to come through today and really limit these Monticello bats, because I don't know if there's a team in this state tournament in the state of Arkansas who swings as good as the Lady Billies.
So Bliss Becker, the second baseman, steps in. That's a strike at the knees and an 0-1 count. You know, Watson, Coach, she's kind of committed to East Texas out of Commerce, but as we were told before the game from head coach Darrell Baker, she has some looks from D1 schools, one of them being the Texas Longhorns and the other one the Ole Miss Rebels.
Because she has offers from the Texas Longhorns and Ole Miss Rebels. She chose to go where she is going.
Well, I tell you, she might want to change her mind, because they get paid real big money at those schools.
Yes, sir.
0-2 count to Becker. Next one's going to roll into the glove of Jenkins. As getting things started for the Billies was Libby Kingston over at first base. Boy, she has nothing but been a hit machine for the Billies all year long.
She has. And if you're Malvern, with the way the Monticello hits the long ball, you cannot give away any free passes.
Next pitch on the way. She'll swing through it. And they'll have to throw it down. Can they get her?
First base should be occupied.
Well, I think they called a foul ball is what they called. I think she got just a piece of it, or did she not?
She kicked the ball as she was leaving the batter's box.
And that's why Coach Baker's out of the dugout. And when she left the batter's box, she did kick the ball. They're going to ask the first base umpire there, Mr. Gilbert, if he saw it. I don't know if he will. I think maybe he was watching something else.
And being a pitch with no contact off the bat, I'll have to ask the legendary Coach Boomer around beside me, but I don't know what that rule is. He says it'll be a strike drop, should be out at first base.
Okay, first strike drop, and so they'll talk about it out there at first base. As the wind's kind of blowing our papers around up here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A good long meeting.
Yeah, as soon as I talk about the officials, we'll have something come up, but I promise you they'll get it right, I think, out there, Coach.
Well, and two, there's a lot that comes into it, but I think at the end of the day, you've got to rule that first base is occupied, and it should be a strikeout due to the drop.
Well, they've talked to out in the field, they've talked to Coach Darrell Baker. Now they're going over to talk to the head coach for the Billies. And now they'll talk to Monticello. And I did not get the name. The guy's been there a long time at Monticello. What's the head coach's name in it?
B.J. Jackson.
B.J. Jackson. Boy, that guy, how long has he been coaching down there at Monticello? You know, that he would love to get to a state championship chance, because B.J. Jackson at Monticello has been a mainstay down there for the Billies.
And to play the Warren Lumberjacks at that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, the thing about the Lumberjacks, who's already punched their ticket, they've never beaten the Monticello Billies. That's been their Achilles heel all year long, and they would love to see the Billies in the state championship game. Or maybe not.
Would you? I
don't know.
I know what Coach Bubba Embry wants, because I heard him talking after the game about how there would be nobody left in either town if that was the case. But, you know, the Malvern Leopards are going to have something to say about that.
Well, the thing about Coach Embry, actually it was early in the year, the Warren Lady Lumberjacks beat Malvern. So, you know, they got to think, hey, we beat you once, we'll beat you again. And here we go, as the out will be at first base. Coach B.J. Jackson hasn't left the field yet. He's looking at the umpiring staff, and here we go. We got one out. Need to put that on the board there, Coach. Now, wait a minute. He's not through, is B.J. Jackson. And now the fans from Monticello. So right off the bat, I talked about no controversy, and now we got it.
Well, I think Coach B.J. Jackson's problem is they told the girl on second base, standing there, well, she was out. So currently there is not a runner on the base pass. So I'm curious to see what transpired.
Yeah, Libby Kingston was safe. Why would she be out?
The only thing that I can think of would be runner interference with someone running to first base. I don't know how.
So Kingston is there two outs?
Hey, Blue! Hey, Blue! Blue! Hey, Blue!
Hang on, we need to know for two outs?
Folks, we apologize. We really don't know at this point what.
Well, the runner's gone. Libby Kingston is gone from over there, so I'm thinking there's got to be two outs, and there is two outs. I just don't know how they got Kingston. She was not involved in the Becker incident, but there's two outs on the board, and that's what we got to go by. Didn't come back and explain anything to us behind home plate. We may have to get him on the mic to tell us what's going on.
Well, I'll tell you what I can do.
There's the head guy.
I can get the head of officials right here. Can I get him?
So with two outs, coming to the plate is Ashley Hales. And get off the mic there, Coach, when you talk to him. But Ashley Hales now with two out is a three-place hitter for the Billies, as we're getting an explanation of what happened in the first two at-bats. There's a ball that's hit deep, and that one's out of here off the bat of Hales. And boy, those two base runners makes a big difference as Hales hits it out of right center for a home run. So one run on the board could have been 3 for the Billies. So that's a big, big change of events. Coach, go ahead and tell us what Mike Love told us, the crew chief here.
So his explanation was that there was interference on the draw third strike in the backs.
Okay.
Which would hence the runner's automatically out because first base is occupied, and due to the interference as she was running to second from the batter, they're calling the runner going to second.
So the two-out call was correct,
yes.
And boy, that's a big call because the next player hits a home run, so instead of 3, you got 1.
I guess so, because I missed it. I was talking.
Yeah, Hales hit it out of right center in a long ways, Coach, hitting those pine trees
like
out there.
Like I said, bad day to be a pine tree at Futrell Field.
All right, here we go. You got the explanation from Tyler Cliff. We got it from Mike Love. Mike Love, the crew chief guy, and we just want to make sure we get things right on the broadcast. So here we go. Addie Frazier at the plate. She is the pitcher for the Billies. As strike 1 to Frazier, she can hit it as well. 1-0 Monticello after a strange start to this ball game. Next pitch is going to be a strike as Watson takes a knee out there, kind of slipping at the pitching circle. Yeah, we know that yesterday she forgot her cleats, Coach. She was involved in that story.
She might have the Walmart shoes on.
All right, here we go. 0-2 the count to the 4-hole batting Fraser. Here's the pitch, and that'll be a tapper. Watson will have it. She'll flip it underhand for the 1-3 put out. So really, if you're a Malvern fan, you really come out lucky on that, as Monticello only gets one run off of 2 hits, as there was no errors and no one left. Monticello up 1 in the top of the first inning. Malvern coming to bat for the first time this afternoon here in the 4A state tournament. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, we come back here, and I had to make a correction in that line. I was writing in the book at the time. It was an error for Kingston. I just saw the ball go to the outfield as I was writing. That was an error on the second baseman for Malvern. So 1 hit on, there was 1 run on 1 hit. There was 1 error by the Leopards in the field, and they lead it 1-0. And coming to the plate for the Leopards to lead things off is Hattie Davis, and boy, she has been a good leadoff coach.
She's been good. She reminds me a lot of Haven Johnson from Warren, kind of a do-it-all, can do everything.
At first pitch on the inner half of the plate is a ball called. Addie Fraser doing the pitching out there in the circle. Ashley Hales behind the plate for the Lady Billies. They make up the battery for Monticello. Corners are up for the Billies as the middle infield also slightly up, expecting something in the dirt. There's a strike on the outside corner, and it's a 1-1 count on Hattie Davis. This one should be a good one today, folks, in the second game, deciding who goes to Majestic Park. Davis awaits. That ball's hit hard through the right side. That'll be a single for a Malvern hit. And here we go with the leadoff on for the Leopards.
And on the flip side, we talked about Monticello's lineup. Malvern is very similar. Their 1 through 5 can swing it with anybody.
And here comes the girl, Kendall Watson, we talked about to start the game. Has a lot of offers out there in softball, and she's a good pitcher, maybe a better hitter. So Watson steps in from the right side for the Lady Leopards. Fraser looking in. Here's your pitch. Strike on the inner half. Strike 1 called. 0-1 count. to Kendall Watson. Watson with one crack of the bat can make it a 2-1 game in a hurry because she really knows how to get that barrel through the strike zone. Swing and a miss that time by Watson. Now the count 0-2 as Fraser gets ahead. Let's see what they want to do here. You definitely don't want to leave something in the center of the plate against Watson.
No, I'm saying throw a low away. See if she can chase something, or you can go up and away and make her swing at something high, but you want to make her chase.
So Watson gets out of the box after stirring up a little bit of home plate there, and it floats away. And then there's one on the inside part of the plate, and she'll swing at it and foul it off. The count will remain 0-2, and this will be a big out for the Billies if they could get Watson right here. Coach Darrell Baker down at at third base. He's been doing it a long time for the Leopards, coach baseball and softball. And that ball is golfed a mile out of play.
Goodness gracious.
So that's in the woods on the backside. The only thing you might find that old ball over there might be a tick or something there, Coach.
Well, if it didn't land on the baseball field at Wilson Park.
So Watson with an 0-2 count with a powerful bat in that right hand. Fraser looks in at Hales. Again, keeps looking for the sign. Now she has it. Here's a wind, pitch on the way, and again, that ball is stroked halfway to Mineral Springs down there off the bat of Watson.
When they hit a four-wheeler to find them.
Those are not coming back. We're not using those the rest of the day, Coach. We won't be able to find them.
Well, if you do, they might not have the laces.
So an 0-2 count. Again, the pitch comes. Down low, Watson won't chase it. And the count now 1-2. Wind continues to kind of blow in. It won't make no difference here against Watson if it's blowing in or out or sideways or anywhere.
No.
Frazier with the pitch. Hits her. And now Malvern with two base runners on. Let's see if they have run for Watson with a courtesy runner.
Yes, they will.
So let's see who the courtesy runner is so far. I do not see anybody.
I think they changed their mind.
They're going to leave Watson there. Watson's such a good athlete, I think they're going to leave her out there. So now coming to the plate is going to be Raina Morgan. She is the shortstop, and she is a dandy.
She can play. And you talk about some wheels, she can run.
Shortstop, number 13.
So Morgan in at the plate. Base runner in scoring position is Hattie Davis. Going to lay it down. Swipes at it, misses it, and coming out of there in a hurry with it is Ashley Hales for the Billies, strike one.
Yeah, he's trying to get her on the ground and advance those runners right there. And Morgan's a great runner, too. Probably a good strategy because she has a chance to leg one out, but she misses one. Now gets the runner on second base caught in the rundown.
Here's the pitch from Fraser. And she'll foul it straight back, does Raina Morgan. Now the count 0-2, and Fraser again ahead of these Malvern hitters there.
0-2 probably takes the bunt out of play right here.
So Morgan out of the box, right back in she'll go. She's up in the front of it. Got a kind of an even up stance, maybe closed just a touch. Fraser looks. Here's the winding pitch. Fouled straight back at us. We're behind home plate, and the count remains 0-2. 1-0 Monticello Billies off a big home run back there in that first inning by the catcher, Ashley Hales. Malvern with a couple of base runners at first and second, and Morgan at the plate, the shortstop. Pitch goes outside.
Trying to throw something out there, trying to make her chase. Not a bad pitch for an 0-2 count.
1-2 now the count on Raina Morgan. A nice hot day here in May for the 4A state tournament in Nashville, Arkansas. And she'll reach out and barely get a piece of that one and foul it off the right side.
Trying to battle. She's taking the same approach up there at the mound, trying to get her to chase like the first one.
So Davis stands at first. This very athletic Watson at first base. Davis at second base, and Raina Morgan, the shortstop, at home plate. That ball again fouled off the hands, out of play, and Morgan fouling a lot of pitches off here.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Kind of like we talked about in that last game. Try to make her throw a lot of pitches in this first inning. Wear her down a little bit. The more pitches you see, the better. And that's kind of was Warren's winning winning deal early in the game against Brooklyn last game.
And she'll go up in her eyes, and she'll foul it back. Boy, I tell you what, Frazier did a good job climbing the ladder that time to get Morgan to swing, as Morgan barely gets a piece of it.
Yeah, Morgan's not going away.
1-2. Boy, both these teams probably the best teams in the tournament as far as hitting that softball. Here comes your pitch. Down low as Hales blocks it. There goes the runners. Hale did a good job blocking it, but then couldn't find it out front, Coach.
Yeah, man. Runners advance. Foul ball scores 1. A gapper scores 2.
So the wild pitch allows both base runners to move up now in scoring position. Raina Morgan can deliver 2 runs with a base hit. Next pitch, a miss outside. Boy, it's coming right down the middle at the last minute. It tails off there, Coach.
Just tailing off. That was a good take. And how about Raina Morgan working this count from 0-2 to a count full? She saw probably 10 pitches this at bat. What a great at bat by Raina Morgan.
So Frazier looking in at Hales behind home plate with a full count. Here comes your pitch. That ball's fouled away again. Morgan continues to foul off pitches. We got to have some more softball, says home plate umpire Brian Tackett. And they'll throw him a few in. They're not finding those, though, Coach. They're not finding the ones that Watson fouled.
The one that Watson's fouled off are in a different Gum County.
Yeah, they may be in a different dimension the way those balls were fouled out of this park. So Morgan playing tough to get at home plate.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Coach Darrell Baker, Coach DB, this say you draw it up. I mean, you got a 10-pitch at bat, runners on second and third, no outs. I mean, Malvern is doing what they want to do. And if you're Monticello, you got to worry about the pitch count getting this side this early in the game, just in the first inning.
So here we go. Addie Frazier in the circle. Hales behind the plate. And batting is Raina Morgan, who's fouled off probably about 10 or 12 pitches. Here comes the pitch from Frazier. She'll go up at it, and she'll strike her out. She went up the ladder and got her there, Coach.
Yeah, that was a good bat. That was a great battle by both players right there, and a great pitch, 3-2. Climb the zone, make her swing.
And now coming to the plate is going to be the catcher and Alexis Jenkins. Hey, this girl can hit it a long ways as well, Coach Cliff.
Yes, she can.
So Jenkins with a chance for a two RBI bat. First pitch is going to be at the knees, and the bottom falls out for strike 1. Heck of a pitch there by Addie Frazier. Brace as the Leopards trail 1-0. Up in her eye, she won't chase, and the count goes 1-1. So Frazier out of the box. And she'll collect herself, get right back in as Frazier checks the bound, looks in at Hales, who's going to flash the sign. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss as she fouls it barely on the end of the bat for strike 2.
You know, if you're Jenkins right here, you have to put something in play. You have to put something in play. At this point in the tournament, in the semifinals, you have to be able to score these runners in scoring position. It's precious. It's precious opportunities that you're not always going to have. So Malvern has to get something in play here and at least get one.
Yeah, they need a ground ball to the right side to score Davis, or they need a deep fly ball. Maybe they can tag her up and bring her home. 1-2 count on the catcher. That one misses low. Now the count evens up with a 2-2 count on Alexis Jenkins. Folks, we appreciate you listening to us on the live stream this afternoon here from Futrell Field for a state tournament. We've punched our ticket with the Warren Lumberjacks, waiting on one more out of these two teams. Next pitch goes down low. Good job by Jenkins staying off that pitch, and the count's full again, Coach.
Yeah, I'm over here looking. I can't tell if it's Warren and Malvern fans over there mixed in, or if it's all Malvern. But I tell you this, there's not an orange hat anywhere on the Monticello side.
That's exactly right. They got it full. And again, there's ball 4 down low, and Jenkins won't chase it. So the base on balls, that's 2 given up by Frazier. And now the bases are loaded. Going to have a courtesy runner coming for the catcher. Coach Baker's already getting her out of the dugout.
Pitch run for the pitcher.
Going to get Watson out of there, have a courtesy runner for her. So Watson, the pitcher, will leave the second base bag, and in comes a courtesy runner for her.
Courtesy runner, number 2, Elise Doss.
So Doss comes in to run for Watson at second base. Watson going over to get ready to come out. One out here. We need a deep fly ball if you're a Malvern fan. And coming to the plate is Desiree Amos. She's the first baseman for the Lady Leopards. Bags full of Leopards. Solid orange uniform with black stockings. Next pitch up in the zone. Ball one to the first baseman, Amos, for ball one. 1-0 our score here in the second game in the semifinals of the 4A state tournament. Malvern and Monticello. Monticello up 1-0. There's a pitch. It eats up the black side of the plate for a strike, and the count goes 1-1. 3 Leopards stand on the bags out there with 1 out. Amos the batter. Next pitch at the knees. Great location by Fraser. 1-2 count now on Desiree Amos, the first baseman for the Lady Leopards. Here's the winding pitch, and she'll smoke it right over the top of the Monticello dugout for a foul ball. Out in front of that pitch, but she got the barrel out, Coach.
Sure did.
So Amos out of the box, right back in she goes. 2 players have come up and walked for the Leopards, the other being a single by Davis. That ball's popped up. Out goes the shortstop. In comes the infield, and a stop between each one, and the run was scored. Shortstop was going out that time for the Billies, and that was Kingston. Coming in that time was Jeffers from center field, and the ball ended up falling up right in between both of them, and the run scores from third with Davis scoring.
Yeah, that's a hard play to make. You know, she's having to look up. The sun is right in her face. It kind of hit no man's land, and, you know, it would have been a hard play, but one that, you know, if you ask the Billies, they would expect to make. We got time called right now as Coach B.J. Young's going to go to the mound and have a little visit, kind of settle him down a little bit. You know, and if you're Monticello too, look, they're going to hit the ball, but 2 of these runners on base are walks. And whenever you have a lineup like Malvern has, you know, those extra runners on base, that can really come back to bite you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, Coach Jackson out in the circle out there, he's been there a lot of times, but I've always remembered this guy. He puts on the batting helmet. It's a true baseball batting helmet that this guy wears, and he's always worn it. I've always remembered him ever since I started watching softball. But we got a tie ball game here, 1-1 now here, Coach Cliff.
Well, I can tell you this, with the way he's real swinging the stick, he probably needs that hard helmet over there. If one of them hit him, he's in trouble.
All right, so coming to the plate is going to be the right fielder. This is Addie White. Addie White, a southpaw. She'll be batting from the left side for the Leopards. Runners on the corners for Malvern. We got a new ball game tied all at 1-1. So White stands in. Fraser looks in. And that ball's going to be pulled over to the first baseman. She'll come home in time to stop the base, the runner from getting there to go ahead on the force out. Good play there.
Good play.
Good play there by the first baseman, picking that ball up. That's Scoggin over there throwing it in as Hale stays on home plate to get the out.
We got some sort of appeal going on here. It will be denied by the home plate umpire. Coach Burnett has some things to say. But what I liked about that play is whenever they fielded it, that first baseman, she picked it up and she knew exactly where she was going to go with the ball. And she really didn't have a second to spare. Picked it up, didn't hesitate, fired at home, gets out number 2, saves a run to keep this a tie ball game.
All right, here we go. Now coming to the plate is going to be the 7-hole batter. This is going to be the left fielder, Langston Heathcott. So now we'll have another runner coming in. To run for the catcher, so another courtesy runner going over to third base. What's our number there, Coach, at third? Can you get it?
I can't see it.
Number 3. and just try to get them in the book to make sure if we have any problems.
Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan comes in to run for the catcher, Jenkins. So with 2 outs, coming to the plate is Langston Heathcott, a right-handed batter that plays left field. First pitch, it's going to be in the dirt that time from Fraser. 1-0 count. All tied at 1. Bases still full of Leopards out there. Can the Billies get out of a pickle here and just leave it at a tie ball game? Heathcott shows bunt, pulls it back, ball 2. Monticello and Malvern trying to get to Majestic Park in Hot Springs for a chance to play the Lady Lumberjacks from Warren for a state championship. Here's the winding pitch. That one's up high and tight. Now the count 3-0 from
Nowhere to put her.
Addie Frazier. You don't want to walk in a run. You want them to make them earn it right here, especially being in the 7 hole.
100%.
Frazier looks. Here's the pitch. Strike on the inner half. Good place, Coach. You can live there for a long time on that inner half at the knees.
Yeah, and if I'm Heathcott, I don't know. It better be real nice coming down that plate if I'm swinging right here. As much
shows bunt again, pulls it back. She'll walk, and they'll bring in the go-ahead run. You can hear the excitement from the Malvern fans here down the first baseline. So the bases remain loaded, and the number 8 hole batter will be Cameron Dyer, the third baseman for the Lady Leopards. They now lead it 2-1 here in the bottom of the first. Here's your prayer pitch. At the knees, strike called in the center of that plate. So Dyer takes a strike from the right side. A base hit to score 2 for the Leopards, already up 2-1. Next pitch comes. Down low, ball 1. 1-1 count to Dyer at the plate from the right side. It's been a good ball game so far, and we're just now getting started, Coach.
Yeah, this one intense from the start.
Next pitch swung on and hit foul to the right side, and the count will go 1-2 off Dyer's bat. So Frazier trying to get the out. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first, just underway in the second semifinal game from Nashville. Next pitch high up in the zone. She'll strike her out, but not until 2 runs come across for the Malvern Leopards. Leopards scored 2 runs. Those 2 runs coming off of 2 hits, as there were no errors that inning, and the Leopards will strand 3 on the base pass. Game moves to the top of the second. Malvern 2, Monticello 1. We'll be right back on the live stream here on Scrap Media. All right, folks, we're back here from Nashville. It is the second ball game, the last ball game of the day here on semifinal day. The winner goes on to Majestic Park to play for a state championship against Warren. And Monticello, this time Coach Cliff, will have 5, 6, and 7 coming to the plate. First batter is Kylie Lane. First pitch ball low and outside from Kendall Watson in this 1-0.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Watson. She's got to be on top of her game here because Monticello has one of the rare abilities that she takes the ball outside. Has the rare ability to have power at all parts of the lineup.
Well, she's a left-handed batter, and that wind is blowing out to right center, so that ball could get up and get out of here in a hurry off Lane's bat.
Yes.
2-0 count. Inside that time, strike called as Jenkins just didn't handle the catch from the catching position, but a 2-1 count. So Watson the pitcher, Jenkins the catcher for the Leopards. They make the battery up. Kylie Lane, the 5-hole batter at the plate with a 2-1 count. Next pitch on the way. That ball is hit to the shortstop. They'll throw it across 6-3 on the putout. Well, I'm telling you what, she is so smooth out there. That is Raina Morgan as short, and boy, she's smooth as butter out there, Coach.
If it's going to get past her, it better be hit awfully hard.
So with one out, coming to the plate now for the Billies is going to be Joni Jeffers, the center fielder for Monticello. She is a right-handed batter. She's handled the ball well for the Billies. Up and down the lineup, they can all hit it. Here's a pitch from Watson, down low and inside, ball one.
Joni Jeffers at the plate for the Billies.
2-1 our score. Now we're on top here in this semifinal ball game. So Jeffers in the box from the right side as Watson winds and delivers. That ball's fouled and the count even up, 1-1. We hope everyone tuning in is able to watch the live stream and hear it live here from Nashville. We've streamed it all week long through the Arkansas Activities Association with the help of our Scrap Media team. Couldn't do it without them. Next pitch down in the zone. Jeffers takes a big cut and waves over the top of it for strike two.
That one had a little something on it.
So a 1-2 count now. Watson ahead of the batter Jeffers at the plate. Watson looks in, winds, and goes. And again, she'll blow it by her for the strikeout. Same spot, same result, Coach.
Yeah, good location. Staying down in the zone.
So with 2 outs, coming to the plate now will be the first baseman. This is Mia Scoggin. Scoggin, another one of these righties for the Billies that can really handle the bat. And I'm telling you, Watson on the ready out there. She's ready to go, and here comes your pitch. Strike on the outside corner. She's feeling it right now, Coach.
Yeah, kind of getting in a flow, getting in a tempo.
So an 0-1 count to Scoggin, the first baseman for the Billies. Next pitch misses low, and the count goes 1-1. Beautiful afternoon for some high school softball, the last game of the 4A state tournament here in Nashville. Here's a wind, pitch on the way, and again they'll swing through it for strike two. So a 1-2 count to the 7-hole batting first baseman Scoggin for the Billies. Watson looks in at Jenkins, winds it and throws. It'll float outside in a hurry there, and the count will go 2-2.
Yeah, it's trying to get something up in the zone, make her chase. Other 1-2 is a throwaway pitch. Try to get something cheap out of the deal, make her swing at something nowhere close. 2-2, look for her to come back, low and outside.
Next pitch on the way. She'll freeze her with a backwards K and strike her out. Monticello comes to the plate. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. And we'll go to the bottom of the second inning. Leopards coming to the plate with a 2-1 lead. We'll be right back. All right, here we go, folks. We come back here as Malvern comes up for the second time in the bottom of the second inning. Addison J. Delamar will be the batter. She is a 9-hole batter. Kind of like another leadoff right here, Coach.
Yes, sir. She can play. If they have the last name Delamar out of Hot Spring County, they typically can play something.
So Fraser looks. She will deal. First pitch right down Main Street, strike called. 0-1 count for Delamar at the plate. Fraser deals it again. This time in a miss down low inside with the corners crashing. The scouting report must be she puts it in the dirt because they're coming hard there, Coach.
She can run a little bit. 1-1. Be very curious to see if Coach Baker elects to try the bunt again.
So Delamar out of the box, looks down at Coach Baker in the box at third base. 1-1 count. Fraser rows it around. Now she's ready to go to work. Checks the band. Hales behind the plate. The Billy pitcher throws. It takes a little off. It eats up the outside corner on a good-looking pitch.
Yeah, on the outside corner. I don't think we'll talk about the bunt here being 1-2. Infielders scoot back just a little bit.
1-2 the count. Fraser looking in. Has the sign. Pitch on the way. She'll swing through one up in her eyes, and she'll go down swinging for the first strikeout and first out of the bottom of the second.
I'm saying the corners back up a little bit on this one.
Hattie Davis is your batter coming up next for the Lady Leopards.
Reached on a single her first at bat.
Yes, she did. Davis stands in from the left side. A good center fielder for Malvern. That one's inside. Barely misses the inside part of the plate for ball one.
Draws a low growl from the Monticello faithful.
That was a close-looking pitch. 1-0 count to Hattie Davis at the plate, the Malvern leadoff. Fraser ready to go to work on the pitching rubber. There's one right across the plate, and the count even up 1-1.
You know, Hattie Davis today, this whole tournament, she's been real patient at the plate. Saw a lot of pitches that first at bat. I think she saw about 3 or 4 or 5 pitches and put one in play there at the end. So she takes some approach.
So a 1-1 count to Davis. That pitch eats up the outside corner. Had a little tail on it, Coach. That's a good-looking pitch there off Fraser's arm.
Yeah, if you're Hattie Davis right now, you got to sit back on that back foot. If it's close, got to defend. Anything close, got to throw the bat at it, get a piece of it. Let's find another pitch.
1-2 the count to Davis. She'll check, swing it, and he's going to ask. No, she did not go. Good call by this umpiring cast. Hey, that's a good job of asking for some help down the third base line. So the count now 2-2 on Davis at the plate. Fraser looks in. Here's the pitch, and that will be a line drive to the first baseman for an out.
Can't be mad at that.
So 2 up, 2 down for the Leopards. Line driver there off Davis's bat. Now coming to the plate, the pitcher Kendall Watson. Watson got the base on balls, or was hit by the pitch, and there she goes again, fouling them off into Never Never Land back there, Cliff.
Add it to the collection. I feel sorry if you got a vehicle parked down the road on the left-hand side of the park. You better go check your windshield.
0-1 the count to Watson off a big foul. Next pitch is outside. Can't get her to chase it out there.
Great spot, though. That is a great spot.
1-1 count to Watson with 2 outs. Leopards lead it here over the Billies 2-1 in the semifinal for a state tournament game. Another pitch inside. She'll knock that one out of play. So now ahead in the count is going to be Addie Fraser. Advantage Fraser in the circle.
1-2. Look for to try to calm the ladder right here. Try to run one up and make her chase. If not there, it'll be low and away.
1-2 the count on the powerful Watson at the plate, the 2-hole batting pitcher for the Leopards. Fraser takes her time, deep breath, looks in at Hales. Here it comes. And again, that ball fouled. Coach Baker just kind of freezes up. Well, I would not want to be standing there with that thing coming at me over there.
That's why Coach BJ wears that hard hat.
Yeah, Yeah, he's in the dugout over there.
You ain't getting in.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Not with these girls and the way they swing.
Daryl Baker down at the third base coaching box. 1-2 count. That one's in the dirt. Now they even things up with 2-2.
Watkins is another one who was real patient at the plate. Battle back from an 0-2 count to a walk right here, and she's showing the same type of patience here.
So awaiting the pitch will be Kendall Watson. Next pitch again, just crushed foul down the left field line. Well, she's so fast with that bat. The bat speed is just unbelievable getting around on that pitch.
And so is the damage to the cars parked down the road.
Yeah, they think they're safe until Watson comes up. If you park way down the road here almost to the next field, you're in trouble. Next pitch a miss outside from Fraser. Now it's full, 3-2. So a battle at the plate between two pitchers, Coach.
Yeah, this is a battle. 3-2 count. Kind of the same bat we had a second ago. She fights herself all the way back. Sees a bunch of pitches.
3-2 count to Kendall Watson. Fraser trying to get the out. Here's a pitch. And she'll go up and attack it again.
That might have been the deepest one of the day.
And I mean, everybody's turning around and looking to see where that foul ball went. It's just amazing how fast that bat speed is in the strike zone.
There was a collective groan from the fans on that one. There might have been a vehicle on that one.
Full count to Watson again. Fraser looks. Here's a pitch. And she will walk her.
What in the back by Watkins. To battle, to continue to foul pitches off. Come back in the count. That's two really good pitches. And now, as we get Morgan coming to the plate, she was one who saw a 14 to 15 pitch at bat.
So we'll have a courtesy runner come in to run for the pitcher, Watson. And coming to the plate will be Raina Morgan. So a courtesy runner at first base, and the home plate umpire, Brian Tackett. We'll have to go get some more softballs. I hope we got enough to finish the day because Watson's been destroying them.
Oh, man. I think I enjoy her foul balls are more impressive than most of the home runs we've had at this ballpark.
Brian Tackett, the home plate official, got to get rid of some of that dust. But we wet the field down to almost just saturating it, and it doesn't take much for that sun just to dry it into a powder keg out here before the game. So Morgan will step to the plate. There's 2 outs, so the courtesy runner runs for Watson at first base. Morgan, the shortstop. Last time she was here, she went down swinging. So Fraser trying to get the third out. And there goes the runner. They'll throw one hopper down there, and they'll throw her out.
Got a late jump.
Well, I tell you what, a good one-hopping throw by the catcher Hales to Kingston to put the tag on her, and that'll end the inning as Morgan to start the next inning on the throw-out. So just like that, the Leopards come to the plate. They score no runs on no hits. There were no errors, nobody left. Game moves to the top of the third. Malvern 2, Monticello 1. We'll be back here in the 4A state tournament. All right, folks, we're back as we go to the top of the third inning. Monticello coming up to the plate. Coach Clift with 8-9-1. 2-1 Malvern lead as Hallie Ross will step to the plate. First pitch from Watson's outside for ball one.
Yeah.
1-0 count to Ross, the left fielder for the Lady Billies. Next pitch right down the middle of the plate. She'll split it in two for the strike, and the count moves to 1-1. So a 1-1 count to the leadoff, Hallie Ross. And here's the next pitch on the way. She'll foul it off the end of the bat. And now 1-2 as Kendall Watson gets ahead of the batter here.
Yeah, and these 2 outs to start this inning are big, because then you got to see those big bats at the top of the lineup of Monticello, starting with Kingston.
So a 1-2 count. Watson looks in at Jenkins. Swing and a miss. She'll strike her out. So the 9-hole batter comes to the plate. This is Grace Ferguson. She's the right fielder for the Billies. Bats from the right side for Monticello as the Billies trail by 1. 2-1 here as she'll step in from the right side for Monticello. Watson still out there in that pitching circle as she'll probably be for the whole day as she toes it and gets ready to come home. Here's the pitch. Another strike hits right dead center in the glove of Jenkins. That one had a little giddy up on it, Coach.
Yeah, that one had a good little pop to it.
0-1 count to Grace Ferguson, the 9-hole batter. Here's a winding pitch. Again, same spot, same result. 0-2 now. 2 back-to-back fastballs that get to the glove of Jenkins in a hurry. So Ferguson trying to stay in there with 2 strikes. Here's the windup. Pitch on the way. She'll go up after it. She'll hit it to the right side. First baseman to go out. She'll make the play. And that's a tough play in the sun out there, Coach.
Tough play. Made it over her shoulder. It kind of lasted for a minute. You can see her kind of freeze, but she keeps her eyes up, tracks it. Good play. 1 out.
Yeah, Desiree Amos over there getting that play at first base for the Leopards. Now back to the top of the order, and this is the one you got to watch.
Yep.
Kingston can go yard in a heartbeat, the leadoff shortstop for the Billies. Next pitch on the way as Watson challenges her right down the gut. Strike called. 0-1 count to Libby Kingston. Kingston, a very good batter. Holds a bat high. And she'll slice that one to the left side. Going over is the defense, and they'll make the play. The third baseman right up against the fence that time. Heck of a play there by Cameron Dyer to put the Billies away. 1, 2, 3. As Monticello, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Game moves to the bottom of the third. 2-1 Malvern. We'll be back. Come back to Nashville, Arkansas for a state tournament. I'm Bunch Nichols along with Tyler Cliff, bringing you the play-by-play on the live stream through Scrap Media on the YouTube network. Raina Morgan steps to the plate, the 3-hole batter, Coach. And there's a ball that's going to be hit to left field, and it'll be gobbled up. I thought it might have got by for a second.
Yeah, good hard hit by. Good play made there, but went down and got that one. Just bad luck. Get about to somebody.
Well, if you're Addie Frazier, that's a good sign. 1 pitch, 1 out. Now coming to the plate to be the catcher. This is Alexis Jenkins. Jenkins drew the base on balls last time at the plate for the Leopards. Malvern leads it 2-1 here in the semifinal game. Winner takes on the Roaring Ladywood Lumberjacks at Majestic Park coming up for the 4A State Championship. First pitch to Jenkins, inside corner at the knee, strike called. Good looking pitch that time by Addie Frazier for the Billies. Frazier ready to go to work again, toes the rubber as Hales gets ready to receive it. Here's your pitch. Ball popped up off the handle, will get out of play. Now Frazier ahead in the count, 0-2. Well, it's been a good week here in the 4A State Tournament. Coach Boomer Brown and his crew, along with the City Park of Nashville, have put on a good tournament. 0-2 count to Jenkins. Up in her eyes, can't get her to chase up the ladder, and the ball comes across for a ball. The count now 1-2 on the powerful Malvern catcher.
Frazier's doing a good job of getting ahead and then making these batters really chase and not let them just scream out this thing and swing away. And that's what you saw right there. Probably about to see it again.
Next pitch comes, and she'll go down after it in that zone. In comes the left fielder, and she'll make the play easily for the second out. So they've tried the left fielder out there of the Billies, and that's Hallie Ross out there with 2 putouts. Now with 2 outs comes the first baseman, Desiree Amos. Well, Amos made a heck of a defensive play and some bright sunlight over the shoulder here earlier, Coach.
Yes, she did.
And Amos with an RBI on the day for the Leopards, steps in from the right side. She's a 5-place hitter. First pitch in the middle of the plate, strike called.
Frazier's kind of getting in the groove. She's kind of settling in. She's kind of got through the middle of this order second time around. Looking comfortable out there right now.
Yeah, Frazier right now has got it working out there on that pitching rubber for the Lady Billies. She'll look in at Hales here to send it. That ball again fouled up the left field line. Over goes the left fielder. Can't get there in time. Great hustle that time again by the left fielder, Haley Ross. She was about a step away from making a heck of a catch. So an 0-2 count now on the 5-hole hitting Amos at the plate for the Lady Leopards. They lead it 2-1 here in the semifinal game. Addie Frazier toes the rubber. Here's the pitch. That ball floats outside, and the count to go 1-2. Wind picks up in center field as the American flag and the Arkansas flag straight out towards right field. Next pitch will get her at the letter. She'll squeeze her for the 3rd strike, and just like that, Leopards go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Game moves quickly to the top of the 4th inning. Malvern 2, Monticello 1. We got a good one in the semifinal game. Come back and join us, folks. All right, folks, we go to the top of the 4th inning. Coming to the plate, Monticello will have 2, 3, and 4. This will be Bliss Becker, the second baseman. Becker was involved in that wild, controversial play in the 1st inning. First pitch to Becker on the inner half. Strike call, Coach Cliff.
Good pitch, good location. She's doing a good job right now getting ahead. You know, this sign up there is potent now.
Next pitch is going to be hit over to the 3rd base side. They'll pick it up, throw it across, and 5-3 put out.
Made that one look easy.
Yeah, that's the third baseman for the Leopards over there. Cameron Dyer takes the big high hop and then throws a strike over to Amos at first base. So the 5-3 put out with one out. Brings up the three-hole batter, Ashley Hales, the catcher.
Hale has a pine tree out there with a big pin in it for our last at bat.
Yeah, she got a hold of one and sent it out of the park back in that first inning for the only run on the board for the Billies. And let's see if Watson wants to challenge her again right here. First pitch will miss down low, not by much, working the outer edge for ball one.
With the competitor that Watkins is, she's already put that out of her memory. She's going to go right at her.
Kendall Watson, the pitcher that is being recruited by everyone in America, and in the circle. Here's the pitch. Down low as the dirt flashes in front of the catcher, Jenkins, for ball two, 2-0. As now a 2-0 count, so Hale's really sitting back looking to drive something right here. Watson looking in. Here's the pitch. Got a miss outside again, and you got to wonder if Watson says, hey, I ain't going to let you hit another one on me right here.
Yeah, right now it's been the only damage done today. And, you know, against a hitter like this with the bases open, you know, sometimes a walk might not be a bad thing.
So Hales with a 3-0 count. Does she have the green light against the hard-throwing Watson? That pitch missed low. She'll take the base on balls. So Monticello with a base runner at first base and one out, and coming to the plate is going to be Addie Fraser, the pitcher. She can help herself out with a big hit of her own. She grounded out to the pitcher Watson back in the first inning. Watson eyeballs the mid. Here it comes. That's going to slide outside for ball one. And right now, if you are the Monticello Billies, that's 4 straight pitches or 5 straight pitches for balls.
Yeah, if you want to make her earn one here.
Next pitch comes. That's a strike that's fouled off the left side in foul territory for strike one. That ball was hit hard in foul territory. So a 1-1 count to Fraser, the cleanup hitter for the Monticello Billies. Base runner at first base in Hales. Watson ready to go to work. Here's the pitch, and it rolls into the glove of Jenkins. Count now 2-1 to the cleanup hitter Fraser. Got a good one here, just 2-1 as the Billies bat in the top of the 4th inning. There's a ball that's hit way up by Fraser. It's going back, out of here. Out of here by the pitcher Fraser, and just like that, Monticello with a 2-run shot will take the lead.
And she knew it too. She hit that thing and she just kind of trotted right down that first base line. She knew it when she hit it. And that's what they do. That's what they've done this whole tournament. This entire tournament, they have come up and they have just, you know, you'll kind of get them 1, 2, 3 here and there, and then boom, hit you for a big one. Boom, hit you for a big one. And they've done that all week long, and they continue to here today.
Well, you know, Hales hit one back in the first, and her battery mate, the pitcher Fraser, comes through right there with a 2-run shot. So now 3-2 advantage the Monticello Billies as the coaching staff wants to come out to speak to the pitcher Watson out there. And I'm telling you, if anybody can handle it, I mean, it's going to be her in the circle out there. This is why we thought this could be the best ball game of the day, Coach.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look, as a pitcher, you're going to see lineups and things where they're going to make you pay. And the proof's in the pudding. When you're as talented as she is, you got to, all right, get the ball back in the circle, throw it in the glove, tip your cap, and move on to the next one, because if you ain't careful, this lineup, if it starts going downhill, it'll snowball fast. And that's what they've done to people this whole tournament. So you just got to dig in if you're Watkins. On to the next one, short-term memory.
Next pitch by Watson is a strike on the outside corner. A batter at the plate is Kylie Lane. She is the third baseman for the Billies, and she takes strike one. So an 0-1 count to Kylie Lane, the left-handed batter. She'll foul one down the third base line, and the count 0-2 now on Lane at the plate. So Watson seems she's not really bothered about that. Come back and throw 2 good pitches for strikes.
She's a gamer.
Watson looking in. Here comes your pitch. And that ball's going to be hit. Shortstop has it late. Throws it across. A heck of a play deep in the hole from short is Raina Morgan for the putout.
You're not going to get him by Raina Morgan. She's the suburb athlete. Makes it look easy. I mean, that ball was in the gap. Should have been a single. And she just kind of waltzes over, picks it up, boom, boom, makes it throw.
So with 2 outs, coming to the plate now will be Joni Jeffers. She is the center fielder. Here's the pitch from Watson. That's going to miss inside. Doesn't miss the corner by much, and the count goes 1-0. So Jeffers, the center fielder, went down swinging back in the second inning. Watson ready to go. Here comes your pitch. This time it will catch the inner half, and the count goes 1-1 with a strike. So Joni Jeffers, the center fielder for the Billies, the 6-0 batter, stands in with a 1-1 count and 2 outs after Monticello has taken the lead off a home run from the pitcher, Addie Fraser. Next pitch on the way, misses outside, and the count 2-1. So a 2-1 count on Jeffers at the plate. Wind picks up again, blowing out to right. That ball's hammered down the line left field. It is out of here. Coach, that's a liner almost about 2 foot over the fence, and it got out of this field in a hurry.
I'm telling you, 1 through 9. 1 through 9 making swing for power, and you're seeing it right now.
So the Billies come up in the 4th inning. They're swinging the big stick for home runs. 2 home runs here in the 4th. A 2-run shot by the pitcher Fraser, and now Joni Jeffers, the 6-0 batter from center field, sends it over the left field fence. And all of this happening here, Coach, I tell you, Jeffers' hit came with 2 outs. Fraser's with 1 out. Now coming to the plate will be Mia Scoggins. She is the first baseman. As Jenkins out to talk to her pitcher, Watson, and Coach Darrell Baker's coming out. He may make a pitching change.
Yeah, just try to get something different a little bit, give him a different look.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to the state tournament here on the live stream through Sprout Media on the YouTube network. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we're back as we have a pitching change. The powerful Kendall Watson has been replaced here in the 4th inning by the center fielder as she comes in, switches sides of the body. She's a southpaw. She's a lefty there, Coach, as Hattie Davis comes to the circle. So Davis in on to pitch here in the 4th inning. First pitch by Davis will be a foul tip ball. So Scoggins will foul it off for strike 1 as there's 2 outs here in the 4th. Monticello playing long ball has come back to take the lead 4-2. Next pitch on the way. Hit to the third base side, and that'll end the inning on the 5-3 putout. But not until the Billies take over the lead Monticello comes to the plate. They score 3 runs. Those 3 runs coming off of 2 big hits right there for the Billies, as there were no errors and no one left on base. So the score now 4-2 Monticello as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Malvern Leopards coming up to try to get back in it. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we come back as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Malvern coming to the plate. They'll have 6, 7, and 8 coming to the plate. Addie White, the right fielder. She arrived at first base on the fielder's choice back in the 1st inning. Here's the pitch by Frazier. It's going to be inside on that corner for a strike called against White.
And if you're Malvern right now, what you got to say going into this dugout, it's only 4-2. You know, those home runs were big ones, but they weren't 3-run, 4-run shots. You got to go in there. It's only a 2-run game, and you got to keep battling.
Next pitch will be swung at by White on the outer edge, and the count now 0-2 as Frazier's filling it in the circle after going yard there, Coach.
Yep, and what I will say as well is you need to score, because that's the only way you're going to stay with this Monticello Billy team, because they're not done.
That's exactly right. 1-2 now the count on Frazier, the 6-0 batter. Wind really blowing around here at Futrell Field, blowing out to right field. Right center to get a ball going in a hurry. We've seen them leave today already. That ball's popped up and to stay in the infield. Second baseman moves over. She'll take the ground. So one batter comes to the plate for the Leopards. One goes down, and now coming up for Malvern will be Langston Heathcott. Heathcott, the left fielder for the Leopards. Heathcott drew a base on balls back to start the game in the 1st inning. Heathcott stands in. First pitch down low, ball 1. So a 1-0 count on Heathcott at the plate for the Leopards. Next pitch on the way. That ball's popped up. It'll get out of play. So a 1-1 count now on Heathcott at the plate for the Leopards. 4-2 our score here in the 4A state tournament from Nashville, Arkansas. We're moving on to Majestic Park in Hot Springs to play the Lumberjacks from Warren. Here's a winding pitch. Misses out. Now the count 2-1 on Heathcott. Standing on deck will be Cameron Dyer for the Lady Leopards. Next pitch comes, and that's inside. Doesn't miss much on the inner half, and the count 3-1 now on Heathcott. Heathcott out of the box, takes a big old deep breath. Now back in she will go. Here's the winding pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
She's kind of settled in. She's settled in, gotten comfortable, and she's really pitched a really good game after that 1st inning.
And he's talking about Addie Frazier, who Coach Clift is talking about there, and she looks extremely comfortable out in the circle. She looks, she will toss it, and she'll set her down. She'll freeze her with a backwards K for the strikeout. 2 up, 2 down for the Monticello defense, and now Cameron Dyer, the third baseman, comes in for Malvern.
Well, Cameron Dyer
Dyer went down swinging back in the first against Fraser. So Fraser will throw the first pitch. It'll go way outside. Had a lot of movement on that pitch. Ball one. Dyer has been in the circle the whole game. Malvern has gone to two pitchers. Next pitch takes a little off that time, and it eats up the inner half. And a nice strike for strike one, and the count goes 1-1. Wasting no time, Fraser deals again as they'll go up the ladder and get the batter Dyer to foul it against the screen. So now Fraser has her set up here, Coach, with a 1-2 count.
Yeah, see, she doesn't try to climb the ladder, get her to chase something out here like she did early in the game.
1-2 the count. Here comes the payoff pitch. That ball's popped up in the infield. Third baseman to come across, grab it for the third out. Leopards go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left. Game moves quickly to the top of the bottom of the top of the fifth inning. I'll get it right here in a minute as I'm looking in my book. Our score, Monticello 4, Malvern 2. We'll be right back. All right, we come back here, Coach Clift, and look who comes back to the circle. It is Kendall Watson. He took her out for one batter. Now she's right back out there to pitch for the Leopards. First pitch from Watson's high and outside. This is Hallie Ross batting for Monticello. The 8-hole batter, left fielder. She'll take ball one.
You rode her this far. If you're going to have a chance in this game, you need her.
Next pitch on the way, outside corner strike called, and it's a 1-1 count to Ross. Monticello batting here in the top of the fifth inning. They got a 4-2 lead here in this semifinal game. Here's the next pitch from Watson. That ball is going to be hit to the third baseman across the diamond. It'll go. Nice scoop over there by Amos. 5-3 on the put out and one out. Good job by Amos at first base, digging that one out of the dirt. And the 9-hole batter comes up for the Billies, Grace Ferguson. Ferguson back in the third inning, popped up to the first baseman, Amos. So Watson ready to go to work on the rubber. Here's the winding pitch. Swing, and that ball, it comes off the shin of the catcher, Jenkins, and she's down. That was fouled right off that shin, and boy, that hurts. So might have got right up above on that thigh area, and they're going to check her out. Coach Darrell Baker out. That ball was fouled right off of it. And we're going to sit here and give this young lady a little bit of time because, boy, Coach, you ever play catcher?
Yeah, that one's going to sting a little bit. Going to leave a pretty good bruise. Just part of the job. It's a thankless job. It's no fun when you catch one of those like that. But I'm saying she'll be able to walk it off and be back.
Now Jenkins now stands up, both sides giving her some applause there, well worth it, because, you know, if you play any sport, there's a chance you're going to take a bruise, a bump, or maybe even a broken bone, but Jenkins tough as nails back there.
It takes some character to get back there and play catcher, because you don't see all the bumps and bruises, you get away from it. But she's tough. She's back in there, down in the dirt.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, she just gets down in the craps, grabs a little dirt right there and throws it out. She's ready to go.
Yeah.
0-1 count to the 9-hole batting Ferguson. Kingston, the leadoff, stands on deck, and that ball's going to be golfed to the first baseman. Can she beat her to the bag? Yes, she can. Amos had to get on a horse to get there because Ferguson was getting up the line for out number 2.
Close play, good effort.
So 2 outs, and back to the top of the order comes another big hitter. As you talk about, if these first 4 or 5 can really swing it for the Billies.
And Liddy might be the best of the bunch, and she's due.
So Kingston has arrived on an error. There's first pitch. She's going to take a hack at it. It goes into left field, and it goes foul. But Kingston, a very good stick, as she's a leadoff. They want her at the plate as many times as they can get her.
100%, I would too.
So Kingston with an 0-1 count. She's a big, tall lefty that can hit the ball out of the park at any given time.
If we were going to draft softball players from this tournament this week, she would be hard pressed to go number 1.
That ball's hit foul down the other foul line now. 0-2 as Kingston's out in front of Watson. But I tell you, you really got to be careful if you are Kendall Watson, because if you throw it too close in there, it'll leave the park again on you. 0-2 count to Kingston. Here's the pitch. That ball's hit hard on a liner, and it gets off the glove that time of the second baseman for a base hit, so another error. Just couldn't handle the hard shot there. Second base was the second baseman for the Malvern Leopards that time. And that's just a tough break there for Malvern as Delamar couldn't handle it.
Yeah, that ball came off the bat in a hurry. Kind of ate her up a little bit.
So an E4 allows Kingston to get to first base. Now here comes Bliss Becker.
Second baseman, number 3, Bliss Becker.
So Becker at the plate last time up. She grounded out to third base. First pitch on the way to Becker's outside for ball 1. Next pitch comes high and outside to Becker. 2-0. So 2 outs here for the Billies, trying to add to their 4-2 lead. Next pitch on the way, down low to get away, and up moves Kingston. Wild pitch allows Kingston to go to second base. So a 3-0 count now on the 2-0 hitting Bliss Becker, and the bad news, Ashley Hales stands on deck, who already has a home run on the afternoon. Here's your pitch. Right down the middle, strike ball.
Good pitch.
So a 3-1 count on Becker. Kingston in scoring position at second base after moving off on a wild pitch. That ball's going to be hit to third base. Now he goes off the glass, the glove of the third baseman with another error. So back-to-back errors have 2 base runners on for the Billies, Coach.
Yeah, kind of set back there. Malvern's kind of struggling right now. Going to have to pull it together, get it going. Let's see what Coach Coach Darryl Baker comes out here and says to his pitcher a little bit. Probably going to tell her, hey, look, we got to lock in because these next 2 right here, they can make you pay. And now that you got 2 on, can't afford that. Can't afford a big mistake right here. Just calm her down. Look, you've got us here. You've pitched great all season long. Couple of bad breaks. Those last 2 right there, she should be out of the inning. And that's what you got to tell your pitch right here. You should be out of the inning. All you got to do, all you can do, is worry about this next one, and you got to be very precise in how you place these next couple of pitches, these next 2 batters, because they're really good.
Well, the thing about it, Coach, let's say they take second base, first base is open, you can put Hales on, but the worst thing you can do is now you're bringing up Fraser, who also has the home run.
Yes, the ball she hit just a minute ago still hadn't landed. So
That's right.
You have nowhere really to put anybody right now. And all you can do is buy down and see if you can induce a ground ball out here, field it, make a throw. She's done a great job in the last 2. Just had an error. So you have another thing you had about right here, but you got to get this one.
All right, back-to-back errors have base runners at first and third for the Billies, and at the plate, Ashley Hales, who was already homered in this game. There goes the runner, and they'll throw back to third base after faking to second. Back in there is Kingston, very safe. So now both runners in scoring position for the Lady Billies.
I was having deja vu when she threw that thing down there to third. We've seen so many of those balls going out there.
1-0 count. And now they are going to put her on.
Oh, wow.
Intentionally Walker and bring Frazier to the plate. They're going to load them up.
Interesting. Very interesting move right here. Let's see if it pays off.
Check this one. All right, new batter. No count as Frazier steps to the plate with the bases loaded. Here's your pitch. Strike right down the middle as Watson challenges the 4-0 hitting Frazier. Frazier hit a 2-run homer back in the last inning. Bases full of goats out there. They're the Billies. Next pitch, going to be hit to the shortstop. She'll take it on her own to second and end the inning. Good job there by the shortstop, not taking a chance. Raina Morgan to end the inning for the defense in Malvern and allowing not another score.
Coach Gerald Baker's decision paid off, Cotton.
So the Billies come to the plate, and boy, they really threatened that inning as they come up to the plate, and it was kind of a wild inning as there were no runs, there were no hits, but there were 2 errors, and they strand 3 on the back. So game moves to the bottom of the 5th inning, 4-2 Monticello. We'll be right back. This is the state tournament. Folks, we're back as we go to the 5th inning, bottom of 5, 4-2 Monticello. At the plate is Aislinn J. Delamar. 0-1 count as that first pitch is swung. Pitch on the way, up high, ball 1. So back in the box goes Delamar. Next pitch is going to be bunted. First baseman has it. They'll throw it up the line on the error. As Delamar gets back to first base, second base had come to cover, and the first baseman moves over, then throws it way high. So Delamar on by the help of an error by the first baseman.
That might be the first runner Malvern's had in quite a while. So that's big for them, and this is a big moment because now you come to the top of the order right here, and if Malvern's going to get something shaken, it's a great time and opportunity right here to do it.
So coming to the plate now, the leadoff, and Hattie Davis. There goes the runner to second base. Do they throw her out? Yes, they do. Kind of got a late jump there on that there, Coach.
That's the second one they've thrown out over there at second base, and that is also the second bad jump they've had at second base.
Well, it seems like she was really delayed, maybe a delayed steal, but coming up hard with the ball was Hales and threw a strike over to Kingston to throw her out. Next pitch right at the knees, but on way too close to him on the inner half, and the count now 2-0, and Hattie Davis the leadoff. Next pitch goes in for a strike, and the count goes 2-1. So a 2-1 count to Davis at the plate from the left side. She had a single to start the ball game. That ball's hit hard and right to the first baseman. Only one hopper, a hot one over there for the second out.
Great play. Great play. Hard hit ball down the line, through the glove at it. 2 down, and now you got the pitcher come to the play, Watkins.
Yeah, Kendall Watson comes to the play. So far today, she has walked twice. They haven't thrown her anything to hit. That pitch is going to be in there for a strike. She hits it a long ways, and it is out of here. It's just a matter of time, Coach. I had to wait to see where it was going to come down. It was hit so high.
She deserves one. She's really hit about 6 today. They all were just foul. That's a great job of hitting by Watson right there, and she gets the Leopards right back into the thick of it.
4-3. Well, I tell you what, Watson left no doubt on that one either. The question was, it was just right inside the foul line, but you had to look way up to see which part of the foul line was fair and foul because it was hit so high. So 4-3 our score now.
Yeah, I think that one caught the school bus out there, Coach.
It may have. So Raina Morgan at the plate now. As the first pitch goes to Morgan, I believe was a ball call.
And if you're Malvern right now, you got to have, they've been kind of lethargic, a little bit down if they lost the lead, but maybe this juice will kind of bring them back in and get them going a little bit.
Here's the next pitch. Down low, count now 2-0. To Raina Morgan, the shortstop for the Malvern Lady Leopards.
Yeah.
So a 2-0 count, 4-3 lead. There's a pitch that's going to be hit well out to left field. It's going way back. It's at the bottom of the wall. So Morgan comes up following Watson with a double.
Hey, and here's the thing, too, that really stings. How big was that runner getting thrown out of second base to start the inning?
We'd be tired right now,
yes,
Coach. If Delamar gets a better, if she just stays at first base.
Yeah.
We're sitting there and we have a tie ball game, but you can't go back and look at it.
No, but it's what it could have, should have.
It should could have.
But man, that stings.
It really stings if you're a Malvern Leopard fan. Now Alexis Jenkins will come to the plate with a base runner in scoring position as Morgan stands at second. There's a pitch in the dirt, and now they'll throw back behind her. Back in there safe is Morgan. Boy, she's living on the edge right there. Boy, Hales come up and threw a strike to the second baseman covering and almost got Morgan out at second base.
I think the ball beat her there, but the tag missed. That's because the ball did beat her there. Tag had to have missed. Boy, that was a
1-0 count. 1-0 count.
1-0 count.
Next pitch as a strike. Now it's 1-1 to Alexis Jenkins at the plate. 2 out here in the bottom of the field. 1-run lead for the Monticello Billies. Fraser deals it. That ball's going to be hit to the shortstop. Kingston rifles it over for the third put out. So Malvern comes off. They get the 1 run off the big bat of Kendall Watson. They have 1 run on 1 hit, as there was 1 error, and the Leopards, they will strand 1. So the game moves to the top of the 6th inning. We're getting close. Got a good one here, folks. 4-3 in the 4A state tournament from Nashville. Come back and find out what happens.
plate. Monticello, the third base.
All right, welcome back to the 4A State Tournament here on Scribe Media through the YouTube Network. We got a good one. I'm Bunch Nichols, Tyler Clift, and Coach, we go to the top of the sixth inning with a 4-3 ball game.
Yeah, Malvern's clawed the way back in it. We've had 2 lead changes, and Malvern cut it to 1 there. Let's see if they can get through this inning here and go to the bottom of the sixth with a chance.
Coming to the plate is going to be Jenkins. Coming to the plate, excuse me, I've got to flip my book over. I thought something was wrong there. Kylie Lane, excuse me there, folks. So Lane bats from the right side. That ball's going to be hit out to left field, and it's misplayed. That ball sliced away from the left fielder, and that'll end up being a double. Well, the left fielder came in for the Leopards that time, and that ball just kind of looked like one of my golf shots there on a hook shot there as Heathcock misjudged it.
Yeah, it kind of got up there in the sun a little bit. The wind's blowing, and just kind of misjudged it.
So the error out in left field allows Lane to get to second base. She was up on it, thought she was going to make the play. The next thing I know, she's keeps coming in and misses the ball.
Yeah, just not a good play.
4-3 Monticello lead.
Curtis Warner, number 26.
26.
So they'll have a runner come in for Lane to run as she is in scoring position now.
And
Bowman comes in to run for Kylie Lane. Now Joni Jeffers, the center fielder, will come to the plate for the Billies.
Number 5. Jeffers.
So Jeffers bats from the right side. She has a strikeout and a home run. First pitch strike off the right arm of Kendall Watson.
This Monticello lineup, they're fun to watch. You just don't know where it's going to come from. And they've only got 4 runs per coach. The pitcher, Watson, as she throws a strike in, has offers from everywhere in the country. And these girls from Monticello have still taken the ball around 2 or 3 times. That speaks to how good this lineup is from Monticello and the pitcher from Malvern.
So an 0-2 count, and here comes your next pitch. That ball's hit well into the gap right center, and that's a gapper. They'll bring a run around third. Here come the Billies to the plate, and that's a stand-up double and an RBI there for Joni Jeffers.
She's hot. She's hot. That bat is on fire right now.
And Monticello fans over to our left are loving it.
They are loving it.
So no outs, a run has scored, and now it's 5-3 for the Billies, and Mia Scoggin comes to the plate. Shows bunt, pulls it back, the runner will go to third. They'll throw, not in time, as that's a stolen bag there by Jeffers. So Scoggin at the plate. It's ball 1. So ball 1-0 to Mia Scoggin. Watson looking in. Here comes your pitch. Strike on the outer edge, and the count will even up with a 1-1 count. 5-3 Monticello over the Malvern Leopards here in a semifinal game. Winner gets 1. Next pitch will be swung through for a strike. That one has some giddy up on it as it pops the glove of Jenkins.
Take it away, man. Scoot up. Take it away.
So a 1-2 count on Mia Scoggin.
Let's go, baby. Put in play right here. Nobody better.
Here comes the pitch. That ball's hit right back to the pitcher. She'll lift the runner back, throw to first. Good play there by Kendall Watson.
Good job of pulling and throwing.
Lift the runner back at third, went to first. Great play there by Watson for the first out. So with 1 out, Hallie Ross, the left fielder, will come to the plate. Last time she grounded out to the third baseman for the Leopards. Base runner in at third base for Monticello. They lead by 2, 5-3. Watson with the wind and pitch. That ball is going to be hit again. Back to the pitcher. Here comes the run home. Safe, she's in there. She looked her back and threw quickly, but the run does come in to score. That's coming in is Jeffers.
good piece of base running. Timed it up, did a really good job, and you know the difference right now in this game is the base running of Monticello's and the base running of Malvern's. You know, Malvern had 2 thrown out of second there. Monticello, they fake bunt, pull it back and steal third, change the coverage up on the third to third base to get a stolen base. And then right there, getting down the line, forcing the throw, and then running home.
So here we go with Grace Ferguson. That ball is hit. It's going to be a hit down the third base line. And going around first base will be Ferguson standing up for a double. She takes the first pitch and knocks it right between the bag and the third baseman. Good piece of hitting there, Coach.
Grace has had a really good game today. And then, you know, after all that, and look who you got coming up to the plate.
You got Libby Kingston coming to the plate. And she's arrived a couple times on an air and popped up to the third baseman. So Kingston can go yard with the best of them. First pitch down low and outside, ball 1 as the speedy Ferguson stands at second base. 6-3 Monticello here in the top of the 6th. Next pitch too low, the count goes 2-0.
Phil Watson, right now you just got to settle in. Can't be rattled right here. You got to settle in and make a pitch, and now we got an intentional whack.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I think I put Kingston on too.
Coach, I don't blame him a bit. But you better get it out because the one after this, the next two after this one, you don't want to pitch two either.
Yeah, Bliss Becker's going to come to the plate. She's the 2-hole batter. She was involved in the interference and was called out back in the first inning. She came up in the 4th, grounded out to the third baseman, and then arrived on an error back in the 5th as they're talking to her down the line at third base. Malvern looking for that third out and try to come in and get some runs back as they trail 6-3.
Let's see if Monticello chooses to be aggressive on the base pass here with 2 outs.
Watson looks in. Here's your pitch. And that ball's a tapper out in front. Jenkins pounces on it, throws.
That's a big out.
And they're going to call her out on a bang-bang play. Jenkins had to come get it and throw a strike over to Amos to end the inning.
That's a big out.
Big out there for the Leopards to end the inning. But a couple of runs come across for the Monticello Billies as they score 2 runs. Those 2 runs coming off of 2 hits. There was an error, and they will strand a couple of base runners out there for the Billies as the game moves to the bottom of the 6th. Monticello 6, Malvern 3. We'll be back. All right, Coach Cliff, we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Malvern needing some runs. They trail by 3 by a score of 6-3, and Desiree Amos will lead things off for the Leopards. First pitch ball to Amos. 1-0 count to the Malvern first baseman. She has a single and a strikeout on the afternoon. Frazier checks the band, comes home with it. That ball slapped foul by just a foot down the line. That could have been big-time trouble if it had just been a little bit further right.
Yeah, she turned on that one. She was sitting on it.
So Amos will come back to home plate with a 1-1 count. That ball was scalded, but just fair outside the line going down the left field. Foul, I'm sorry. I'll get it right. Been a long day, Coach Cliff.
It's been a long day.
There's a ball that this time will get underneath the glove of the third baseman. It had been an error, but it was a sharp one underneath the glove. So the error allows Jenkins to get to first base. Correction, Amos to get to first base.
Yep, and kind of the same thing. Sit back, out in front on it, and just slaps that thing down the third baseline. And
so she's at first base. Is Amos now coming to the plate to be the right fielder and Addie White. White last time at the plate popped up to the second baseman. White stands in from the left side. That ball's popped up, and in comes Kingston for the easy out. So with one out, coming to the plate now will be Heathcock, the left fielder. Langston Heathcock has drawn a base on balls this afternoon and went down looking. Malvern needing some runners right here, trailing by 3 runs, Coach.
Yeah, I got 6 outs left right here, or 5 outs left. Need to.
They'll throw her inside, does Frazier, and she'll foul it down the third baseline, strike 1. 0-1 count to Heathcock with the base runner Amos at first base. 6-3 our score. Monticello on top in this semifinal game. The winner gets the Lady Lumberjacks from Warren. Here's the pitch. Down low. Ball called in the count now, 1-1. Majestic Park will be the place for the state championship in 4A. Warren has punched their ticket. One of these two teams trying to do the same. There's a pitch on the outer edge with a little tail on it for strike 2. 1-2 count to the 7-hole hitting left fielder Langston Heathcock. Next pitch on the way. She'll freeze her again for the backwards K for the second out. With 2 out, the 8-hole batter now comes to the plate, and Cameron Dyer, the third baseman. Dyer bats from the right side. She popped up to the third baseman back in the 4th inning. Frazier deals it. Ball's popped up out of play, strike 1. 0-1 count to Cameron Dyer at the plate for the Lepers. Lepers trail by 3, 6-3, trying to get back in it here in the bottom of the 6th. That ball's going to be hit to Kingston. She'll take it, and she'll lose it. And, boy, that's just an unusual play there. Libby Kingston with the error.
Yeah, doesn't happen very often, and a good break from Alvin right here.
Kingston, you could tell, was going to pick it up and take it on her own right there, Coach. The only thing about it, she picked it up but then dropped it.
Yeah, kind of forgot the ball. Got to field it first.
So 2 on, and now the 9-hole batter, Delamar, will step to the plate. First pitch inside in the dirt, ball 1 called. Lepers with base runners at first and second and 2 out, and the 9-hole batter Delamar at the plate, and you got to think that Malvern's won her on with the leadoff Hattie Davis standing over there by that dugout. Ball 2 now on the batter as they'll throw in a foul ball from outside. So a 2-0 count on Addison J. Delamar. Delamar digs in from the right side as Frazier checks the band. She's ready to go to work. Here's the pitch. That's up in the zone for ball 3, so you know Delamar's going to stand there and watch here for at least a couple, Coach.
Yeah, we didn't see this one go by, and I'm saying with the way Frazier's been today, she's about to send this one right down Broadway. If you want to be brave and drive one right here, this is the pitch to do it. So I promise you it's coming right down the middle.
Shows bunt, pulls it back, strike called.
She's been consistent today. When she has to make a pitch, she's done it.
3-1 count on the 9-hole batter, and leadoff Hattie Davis standing on deck for the Malvern Leopards. Shows bunt again, pulls it back. Now it's run to a full count, so back comes Frazier all the way down from 3-0 to a full count. So full count on the 9-hole batter with 2 outs, 2 base runners on. Frazier looking in. Ashley Hale sets it up. Here's the pitch. Strike three, she'll strike her out. Lepers threatened with a couple of base runners off some errors. No runs on no hits. There were 2 errors. 2 girls left. Game moves to the 7th inning. Top of 7. Monticello coming up trying to get some insurance run as they lead at 6-3. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we go back to the top of the 7th inning as coming to the plate will be Monticello. This will be their last at bat unless something changes. They have a 3-run lead, and coming to the plate, the very powerful Ashley Hells, the catcher for Monticello, already on the day with a big home run. First pitch taken, that ball's hit into the gap in left center. Hells on the way to second base for a sliding in double.
Didn't waste any time at all. Saw the first pitch, she liked it, found the gap.
So the base runner now at second base. Let's see if they want a courtesy runner to run for the catcher. They're going to leave her out there. And right behind her comes her counterpart, the pitcher, Frazier, also with a home run today. First pitch, golfed off the left side for a strike on the foul ball. Frazier hit a bomb back in the 4th inning to give the Monticello's Billies the lead at that time. 0-1 count to the pitcher, Addie Frazier, with a bunch of pop in that bat. And this time it's going to be off the end of the bat. Goes to third baseman. She'll throw it across for the putout, 5-3, and the first out. Base runner will stay put at second base in Hells.
Yeah, the Monticello coach was really trying to get her to take third on that throw. She was really in no man's land halfway down the line and just decided not to chance it, ran back to second.
So Kylie Lane will now come to the plate. Lane got to first base back in the last inning on a slicing ball to left field. First pitch strike called on Kylie Lane to the disagreement of the Monticello fans. Lane stands in. That ball's going to be hit to the second baseman. She's got it, throws it over, 4-3 on the putout. Base runner will move to third in Hells. So 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning, and coming to the plate will be Joni Jeffers, the center fielder. Jeffers last time up had a double. Jeffers with good speed at the plate for the Billies. Billies trying to go up and increase this 6-3 lead. First pitch, strike called as she check swings it. That ball is in the dirt for strike 1 as Jeffers check swings it for a strike.
Yeah, and Jeffers has had a really good day at the plate today.
Yeah, a home run and a double is not a bad day, Tyler Cliff. Here's your pitch. Down low, and the count evens up 1-1. It's just amazing to me with all the power in this Monticello lineup there, especially at the top.
Yeah, and the thing of it is, too, I mean, they've done it all tournament long. You know, 1-2 outs, and then they'll hit you for 2 on a long ball. Bang, bang, bang. And, you know, that's a testament to this lineup from top to bottom, just how well-rounded they are.
2-1 count on Jeffers, the center fielder. Watson with the winding pitch, and that ball is going to get through to the left side, and she'll score a run. Does Jeffers read the bat? Another RBI for Joni Jeffers. The Base hit single puts the 7th spot on the board for Monticello. So with 2 outs now coming to the plate will be Mia Scoggin. That ball was sharply hit. Boy, I tell you, the shortstop had a hard time ranging to her right to get it. I give her a single.
Yeah, it would have been a really hard play to make. That ball was hit hard.
0-1 count to Scoggins as she swings through the first pitch. Watson lines it up, and she will deal. Second pitch, strike on the inner half. 0-2 the count now on the 7-hole hitting first baseman, Mia Scoggin. 7-3 Monticello. Billy lead here in the 7th. That ball's fouled off the right side. You can see Jeffers getting out of there when that ball was pitched and was fouled off. Jeffers can really run at first base.
Yeah, she was trying to make a trip to third out there on the ground ball. She's got some wheels.
0-2 the count on Scoggin. Here's the pitch. And that ball's hit to the shortstop. She'll field it, throws it across 6-3 on the put out, and out to end the inning. A run comes across for the Billies. They get an insurance run as they get 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors. 1 girl left. Game moves to the bottom of the 7th. Malvern's got to have 4 runs to stay, and 5 runs will win it. We'll be back to the state tournament from Nashville. Stay tuned. All right, here we go, folks. The top of the order for the Leopards. It's the bottom of the 7th inning. Leopards trail by 4, 7-3. Got to have 4 to stay, 5 to win. This is where it gets interesting. Davis stands in from the left side for the Malvern Leopards. Here's the first pitch. Strike called at the knees. 0-1 count as Addie Frazier and the Billies get ahead on that first pitch of the 7th inning. Davis out of the box, right back in she goes from the left side. Frazier looking in, ready to go. Here's your pitch. That's high and tight. It gets her on the hip, and she's hit by the pitch, and the leadoff is on for the Leopards. That's what they needed, Coach. You need base runners.
Need base runners.
So the hit by pitch allows the speedy Davis to go to first base. Now Watson comes up. Last time she was here, she hit a towering home run into left field. Here's a pitch from Frazier, and that ball's popped up. Center fielder will come in. She'll make the grab. So the Billies are feeling it, and so are their fans down the third base line. 2 outs to go, and Raina Morgan comes to the plate for Malvern. Morgan, the shortstop. They'll come pick a bat up over here as now we're ready for a play. Raina Morgan, the shortstop, had a double last time she was here. First pitch, ball inside. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Monticello leads it 7-3, trying to get to Majestic Park to play another 8-4A foe, the Warren Lady Lumberjacks. Next pitch is on the way. It's a ball, and it's 2-0 to Morgan after a snap throw also down to first. No good, so a 2-0 count. Next pitch on the way. That ball's popped up right side. Out goes the second baseman, and it's out number 2. 1 out away for the Monticello Billies. Alexis Jenkins, the hard-hitting catcher, will come to the plate for the Malvern Lady Leopards. Check it. So Jenkins at the plate. 2 outs. Monticello filling it. First pitch inside, ball 1 to Jenkins. Davis at first base for the Leopards. 2 out. Monticello 1 out away from going to the state championship ball game. Addie Frazier has gone the whole way for this Billies. Next pitch on the way outside. Count now 2-0 to Alexis Jenkins. Jenkins with a big bat of her own right here. Here comes your pitch. Strike on the corner. Nice location off of the right arm of Frazier for strike 1. 2-1 count now on the 4-hole hitting Jenkins. 2-1 count. Frazier checks the band on the arm. Winds it, lets it go. That ball's hit right up the middle for a base hit.
Good piece of hitting there by Jenkins. Just step back, drove right back where it came from.
Leopards won't go away. And coming to the plate now will be Desiree Amos. Amos able to get to first base off an error back in the 6th inning. Can handle the bat as well. She's the 5-hole batter. Monticello still looking for that last out to send them to Majestic Park in the state final. First pitch as they'll throw to second behind the runner, not in time to get Davis. Ball 1 to Amos at the plate. 1-0 count to Desiree Amos at the plate for the Leopards. Here's your pitch. Down low, ball 2. 2-0 count now to Amos from the right side with 2 out. Billy fans on their feet down the third base side. Frazier with the deal. Strike call. 2-1 count to Amos at the plate. 2 base runners on and a 7-3 score. Next pitch on the way. Strike 2 at the knees, right over the center. 1 strike away, 1 out away for the Monticello Billies. 2-2 count, here's a pitch. She'll foul it way down the line in left field. It'll get out of play. That ball was hit well as well, but just tailed to the left side. So Amos will come back to the plate with a 2-2 count and 2 outs. Trying to stay in there for the Malvern Lady Leopards. Monticello looking for 1 more out, and they're on their way to Hot Springs. Here's the pitch. Strike 3, and that's going to do it. She'll freeze her and strike her out. No runs on 1 hit. No errors and 2 left, and the Monticello Billies will go to Hot Springs, Arkansas for the state championship to take on the Warren Lady Lumberjacks. Boy, we've enjoyed bringing you the contest today as Coach Brown is going out there to give the ticket to the Monticello Billies. We've enjoyed it. Best of luck to Warren. Best of luck to Monticello as they'll play in the 4A state championship coming up at Majestic Park. It's been a great day in the 4A state tournament. We appreciate everyone listening. As we're out, have a great night, folks.